Good afternoon, students. In last class, we had a discussion about some type of circuit breakers, like oil-less circuit breakers. Those are air blast circuit breakers, SF6 circuit breakers, that means sulfur hexafluoride circuit breakers, and vacuum circuit breakers. And also, we had seen the advantages and disadvantages of those circuit breakers, and also we can saw the applications of those circuit breakers. Now, in this class, we are going to discuss a new topic. That one is ratings, circuit breaker ratings. Circuit breaker ratings. Okay, we will see it. Circuit breaker ratings. So we already we know that something about related to ratings of circuit breaker. That means at fault condition, circuit breaker need to do some things. That means it can. That means under a short circuit condition, the circuit breaker need to do perform. Three things especially. That one is circuit breaker can capable to do break a circuit successfully and safely. That means circuit breaker can do successfully. That means it need to break the uh, faulty section without any damage to the system and itself. So that one must and should. That one is must and should per the nature of circuit breaker. So I explained once again. So first needful thing by circuit breaker is it has to successfully break the circuit. It has to successfully break the circuit when the fault is happen in a system. When the fault is happen in a system. So that one is the first needful thing by the circuit breaker. That's why we design circuit breakers, and that's why we place in our system circuit breakers. Okay. So first thing we expect from circuit breaker is it need to do break the circuit. It need to do break the circuit when the fault is appears in a circuit or system. That one is the first thing. The first thing about circuit breaker. Now we go for it. Second needful thing. Second needful thing we expect from circuit breaker is it can able to make the circuit. It can able to make the circuit successfully at any condition. That means at fault condition, maybe at fault condition maybe, or a normal condition, it can able to make the circuit. It can able to make the circuit. That one is the second needful thing we expect from the circuit breaker. We expect from the circuit breaker. First thing is we expected from the circuit breaker is first thing is circuit breaker has a capability. It has a capability to break the circuit when the fault is appears. That one is the first needful thing. And second needful thing from we expect from the circuit breaker is um, it has to make the circuit. It has to make the circuit at any condition, either it may be a fault condition or normal condition. So circuit breaker compulsory make the circuit successfully without any damage to the system and also itself. Now third capability what we expect from circuit breaker is it can able to allow the fault current up to some time. It can allow the fault current. It can allow the fault current through it up to some time. That one is the first. That one is the third expected thing. Third expected thing from the circuit breaker. So when we place circuit breaker in a power system, so that circuit breaker must do these three things. These three things. So when we place when we place a circuit breaker in a power system, we expect these three things from circuit breaker. We expect these three things from circuit breaker. First thing is circuit breaker must able to break the circuit at fault condition. That one is the first thing. Second thing is circuit breaker can able to make the circuit at any condition, either it may be a fault condition or normal condition. It can able to make the circuit. And third one is it can able to allow the fault current. It can able to allow the fault current up to some time. So these three are the very important, and these three are the main characters of the circuit breaker. Okay, by keeping these three characters, we are going to decide the circuit breaker ratings. So once again I explain, I am going to tell you. So three things, we expect three characters from the circuit breaker. So first character is breaking character, and second character is making character, and third character is sometime it allows the fault current. Okay, so let's see, based on these three characters, we are going to decide the circuit breaker ratings. So before going for ratings, we need to see these waveforms. We need to see, and so what these diagrams are going to explain for us. Let me see it. Here it is the nature of fault current. This one is the nature of fault current. So this entire graph will give the nature of fault current. Here in this graph, we have seen two sections. It is section 1. It is second section. Okay. So here in this graph, we can see two sections. It is section 1. And it is section 2. In section 1, if we observe, we can say one thing. That one is, here the current magnitudes are not same. The current magnitudes are not same. The current magnitudes are uneven. In this section. And in this section, current magnitudes are equal. Okay. Now, this section we call it as symmetrical section. Or steady state period. Or symmetrical section. In steady state period or symmetrical section, the current magnitudes, cycle magnitudes are equal with respect to time. The cycle magnitudes are equal with respect to time. So that section we call it as symmetrical section. Now in this section, the cycle magnitudes or current magnitudes are continuously change with respect to time. So that section we call it as asymmetrical section or transient section or transient period. So at which current magnitudes are continuously change with respect to time. So that time period we call it as transient period, and that section we call it as asymmetrical section. Now we have some doubt, like why the transient is happen for fault in a power system. Why the transient is happen to the fault in a power system. We know that power system mostly has a inductive nature. Am I correct? Power system mostly it has a inductive nature. Mostly it has a inductive nature. That means all type of load, all type of transmission line, mostly it offers inductance. It offers inductance. So when a power system offers a inductive nature, when it has inductive nature, ultimately that due to that inductive nature, it opposes the change in current. It opposes the change in current. So when the fault is happens, it opposes the change in current. It opposes the change in current. That's why transients are taking place. That's why transients are taking place. That means it needs some time to accept that current. To accept that current, it needs some time. That needed time period. The needed time period we call it as transient period. The needed time period we call it as transient period. After that, after transient period, power system accept that fault, and after accepting the fault, the magnitudes are constant with respect to time, and that period we call it as steady state period. That period we call it as steady state period. Okay, this is the simple thing about fault nature. What will happen in power system. So when fault is happen in a power system due to its due to power system inductive nature, the fault initially it behave like a transient. Initially it has a transient nature. After that, after some period, it accept the power system accept the current. When it accept the fault current, it becomes to that means magnitude alternative. That means fault current magnitude is going to be constant with respect to time. Okay, now let's see. So now how we are going to explain this asymmetrical current. Asymmetrical, how we are going to represent this asymmetrical current in graphical manner. Let's see it. So this asymmetrical current is nothing but this one. Here it is the same thing we draw in this diagram. It is also asymmetrical. Diagram, and this one is also a asymmetrical diagram. Okay, now this asymmetrical current is nothing but sum of two currents. One is symmetrical current. Symmetrical current is nothing but those magnitudes. Current magnitudes are constant with respect to magnitudes are constant with respect to time. So sum of symmetrical current and DC component. Here we can represent the current which is not accept the power system. We represent in terms of DC current. Here DC current in the sense the current which is not accepted by the power system at initial condition, okay, so that we can represent with DC current. Okay, now sum of these two, not accepted current and accepted current, total value is equal to asymmetrical value. Finally we can get a waveform with respect to time period. We can get like this. It is asymmetrical waveform, and it is symmetrical waveform. Now in asymmetrical waveform, we can see two currents. One is DC current in the sense we consider it not accepting current in terms of DC, not accepting current by power system in terms of DC. Okay, accepting current by power system in terms of AC. We take it as in terms of AC simply. Okay. Now by keeping this knowledge in mind, we are going for ratings of circuit breaker. Now first one is breaking capacity. Here in this diagram we can see it clearly. in this waveform we can see uh, two currents. In this waveform we can see two currents. It is symmetrical current and it is asymmetrical current. Am I right? So this one is asymmetrical current and this one is symmetrical current, because in symmetrical current magnitude is constant with respect to time. That's why we call it it is a symmetrical current. And in this part, in this section, the magnitude of current is going to be changed with respect to time. So we call it as, that's why we call it as, it is a asymmetrical current. And I already told you asymmetrical current is nothing but combination of DC current and symmetrical current, and that DC current is with respect to time is going to be decreased with respect to time. That the transient nature with respect to time is going to be zero. Here it is at this point the transient nature, nothing but DC nature. The DC current is slowly decreases. The DC current is slowly decreases with respect to time. At this point, completely the DC nature is gone. When the DC nature is gone, ultimately this fault current is become like a symmetrical current. Okay. Now let's see. So here Y. Here the point Y is indicates. Here the Y. Here the Y is indicates nothing but DC. Nothing but DC current magnitude. DC current value. Okay. Here the Y is indicates. DC value. That is nothing but at initially when the fault is initiated. That means at t is equal to 0. That DC value is equal to OA. At t is equal to 0, that means when the fault is initiated, that DC value is equal to OA. Okay. Now here X is indicates magnitude of AC current. When the fault is initiated, that means at t is equal to 0. That value is equal to OC. Here I did not represent C value. Here it is OC value. Like assume it is a OC. So OC is the fault current, that is asymmetrical fault current. When the fault is initiated, that means T value is equal to 0. Now the total current at T is equal to 0 is OA plus, that means magnitude. That value is OA plus OC. And that OA plus OC value is equal to OB. OA plus OC value is equal to OB. So in this diagram, we can say fault at fault current at T is equal to 0 is OB, and that OB is a asymmetrical asymmetrical current magnitude, and that asymmetrical current magnitude is equal to OA plus OC. Here OC is the symmetrical current magnitude and OA is the DC current value. When T is equal to 0. That is the we can see from the diagram. Okay. Now let's assume here when the fault is initiated in power system. Okay, fault is initiated in power system, and that fault initiated time is T is equal to 0. At T is equal to 0, fault is initiated. Okay, no problem. Now the circuit breaker is open. At this point. That means it takes this much of time. It This one is take this much of time. Okay, circuit breaker open, after this time period, and that point is d dash instant, d dash instant. Okay, so the circuit breaker contacts are opened at d dash instant. Now when the circuit breaker is open, let us see the value of DC component. That means at asymmetrical condition, at transient condition, circuit breaker contacts are opened. Now when the circuit breaker contacts are opened, at that time the DC component value, DC current value is equal to y. The DC current value is equal to y, and AC current magnitude is x. AC current magnitude is x. Here,
Sir, voice off chesara.
Okay, sir. Okay. Here we can see. Here we can see. Here we can see x. Here we can see x. The term x is indicates. Magnitude of AC current, magnitude of symmetrical AC current when the circuit breaker contacts are open. When the circuit breaker contacts are open. Now, what about y value? Here, this one is the y value. This y value is indicates value of DC current. When the circuit breaker contacts are open. Now, the total current magnitude, when the circuit breaker contacts are open is equal to x plus y, because the circuit breaker is opened in asymmetrical state, asymmetrical current, at asymmetrical, that means at transient condition. The circuit breaker contacts are opened at transient condition. That's why here we take it, the magnitude value is equal to x plus y, where x is the AC current magnitude, AC asymmetric current magnitude, and y is the DC value, DC current magnitude. Okay. Now let's see. That is the thing I explained in this slide. If we understand this one, then automatically we can define a breaking capacity of circuit breaker. Now let's see. So breaking capacity of circuit breaker is nothing but it is the maximum value of this one is the maximum value of fault current. It is the maximum value of fault current at which circuit breaker can successfully break the circuit. That maximum value of current value, we call it as breaking capacity of circuit breaker. Breaking capacity of circuit breaker. So I explained once again. So breaking capacity is nothing but simply we can tell like this. It is the maximum value of fault current at which circuit breaker can successfully break a circuit. That current value we call it as breaking capacity of circuit breaker. Here let's see the maximum. Here in this diagram, the maximum value of fault current at which circuit breaker breaking the circuit is equal to x plus y, x plus y, x plus y. Okay. Now here let's see how we are going to calculate breaking capacity from this diagram by using this diagram. Let see it. Here consider simply we consider at circuit breaker is opened at d dash instant. Okay. Now x is the maximum value of AC component and y is the DC component value. DC component value. Okay. Now the symmetrical breaking current value is equal to we represent that breaking value, the breaking current value we want to represent in terms of RMS, in terms of RMS. But here this x value is in terms of maximum. That means it is a peak value. It is a peak. Here x value is the peak value. Here x value is the peak value, but we need RMS value. We need RMS value. So that's why here we write it that symmetrical breaking current in terms of RMS is equal to x divided by root 2. X divided by root 2, where x is the maximum value of AC current. Okay, but we need RMS. That's why we put in denominator root 2. Okay. Now asymmetrical breaking current. Okay. That one is the resultant. That one is asymmetrical breaking current is nothing but resultant of these two, DC current and symmetrical current. So that asymmetrical breaking current value is equal to RMS value of total current. RMS value of total current. Here total current is nothing but DC current and AC current. So that value is equal to square root of x divided by root 2 whole square plus y square. So where x is the AC current maximum value and y is the DC current value. Here we can see it, two breaking currents. One is symmetrical breaking current and next one is asymmetrical breaking current. So symmetrical breaking current is equal to x divided by root 2, where x is the maximum value of AC component and asymmetrical breaking current is equal to square root of x divided by root 2 square plus y square, where y is the DC component value. Now generally we express breaking capacity value in terms of MVA. That's why we multiply this breaking current with voltage. To get VA value, we multiply this current, this breaking current with voltage value. Then we can get automatically VA value. So now if we feel it, I is the rated breaking current. If we feel I is the rated breaking current in amperes and V is the rated line voltage, then breaking capacity is equal to, for three phase, breaking capacity is equal to root 3. That means three phase. It is line current. I is the line current. V is the line voltage. So now three phase value is equal to root 3 into V into I. Now we want in terms of MVA. That's why we put 10 to the power of minus 6, where I is the ampere and V is the voltage. That's why here we write 10 to the power of minus 6. Okay. So MVA. So this one is the breaking capacity of circuit breaker. Students, once again I tell you what is the breaking capacity. Breaking capacity is nothing but it is the maximum value of current at which circuit breaker can break the faulty section successfully. That maximum value current, based on that maximum value current, we can take it as symmetrical breaking current and asymmetrical breaking current. If it is a symmetrical breaking current, that value is equal to x divided by root 2. If it is a asymmetrical breaking current, that value is equal to square root of x divided by root 2 whole square plus y square, where y is the DC component when a circuit breaker opened in a symmetrical, the transient period. Okay. Now we go for it. One more rating. That one is making capacity. Making capacity is nothing but it is the maximum fault current at which a circuit breaker can successfully close the circuit. So making capacity is nothing but it is the maximum, again it is the maximum value of current at which circuit breaker can close the circuit successfully. Okay, so here is the definition. Okay, so making capacity is nothing but it is also a current, it is also a maximum current, it is also a maximum fault current at which circuit breaker close the circuit successfully. Okay, so same thing is explained here. The peak value of current during the first cycle of current wave after the closure of circuit breaker is known as the making capacity. Same thing I explained in other way. The first cycle of current wave is nothing but, here it is seen, the first cycle of current wave. In this waveform, the first cycle of current wave is nothing but this one. The first cycle of current wave is nothing but this one. In this diagram, the first cycle is nothing but the first cycle peak value. The first cycle peak value is this one. So this one is the maximum fault current. This one is the maximum value of fault current at which circuit breaker can close the circuit successfully. Yes. So at this point, so this given circuit breaker is closed. At this point, the given circuit breaker is closed. So that's why it becomes the making capacity. This one becomes making capacity of this circuit breaker. This one is the making capacity of the circuit breaker. Okay. So in other way also we can tell what is the making capacity. Making capacity is nothing but the peak value of current during the first cycle of current wave. After the closure of circuit breaker is known as the making capacity. In other way also we can explain it. That one is the making capacity is nothing but maximum value of fault current at which circuit breaker can close the circuit. So here in this diagram, this one is the making capacity. This one is the maximum fault current value. Maximum fault current value is this one. Here it is this one is the maximum fault current. So when comparing to remaining magnitudes, this one is the maximum value. This one is the maximum value of fault current. So that's why for this circuit breaker, this one is the making capacity. Making capacity of this circuit breaker is this one. Okay. Now how we are going to find that making capacity in this example. Now let's see. So the making capacity value is equal to 2.55 times of symmetrical braking capacity. 2.55 times of symmetrical braking capacity. Here it is the formula. Making capacity value is equal to circuit breaker making capacity value is equal to 2.55 times of symmetrical braking capacity. In this example, symmetrical braking capacity is x divided by root 2. Now, making capacity value is equal to 2.55 times of x by root 2. In place of symmetrical braking capacity, we can write x divided by root 2 because when the circuit breaker is open, that AC current peak value is equal to x. That's why we place it x divided by root 2. Okay. Now here why we write 2.55? Like the 2.55 is the 2.55 reason is here the 2.55 we can write it root 2 into 1.8. So the 2.55 we can write into root 2 times of 1.8. Root 2 times of 1.8. Here multiplication with root 2. Multiplication with root 2 means, that means why we multiply with root 2 means already here in this diagram, here in above diagram, the x value is peak value. The x value is peak value. That's why we need to convert that peak value into RMS value. That's why here we write root 2. That's why we take root 2. To convert that peak value into RMS value, we use root 2. We use root 2. Now, why we are write 1.8? Here, the 1.8 reason is because we consider doubling effect. In fault, in symmetrical and asymmetrical fault, already we know the what is doubling effect. What is already we know it. Doubling effect already we know it. Okay, so that's why we consider 1.8 because of doubling effect. We take it 1.8, and to convert maximum value into RMS value, we use root 2. That's why finally we can get that value is equal to 2.55. So 2.55 into symmetrical breaking capacity, then we can get making capacity. Okay, students. So making capacity and breaking capacity. So once again I explain, making capacity is nothing but maximum value of fault current at which circuit breaker can close circuit. Okay. Breaking capacity is nothing but maximum value of fault current at which circuit breaker can break the circuit successfully. Now, so these are the examples for explaining making capacity and breaking capacity. Now, one more rating is short time capacity. Short time capacity. So already I told you, circuit breaker need to allow fault current up to some time. So the time period which it allows fault current successfully, the time period at which circuit breaker allows fault current successfully, that time period we call it as short time capacity. That time period we call it as short time capacity. Okay. So the time period for which circuit breaker can carry fault current safely without any damage to the circuit breaker and remaining system, so is known as the short time capacity. Okay. So these are the some examples. Sometimes in system fault persists for a short time, 1 or 2 seconds, and so that means when we are going for backup production, when we use circuit breakers as a backup production, at that time it need to allow some time, it need to allow fault current some time. So it need to the same thing is explained here. 1 or 2 seconds it allow a fault current 1 or 2 seconds, and then removes the automatic. If primary production is failed, if the primary production is failed, then so backup is, and backup production is comes to the picture. When the backup production comes to the picture, circuit breaker open it, and it eliminate the faulty section from healthy one. Okay, so up to that time it waits for it allows the fault current. Okay, to maintain continuity in power flow. Why circuit breaker need to allow fault current? Because continuity of power supply, circuit breaker should be capable to carry fault current for some designated time. Yes, okay, to give uninterrupted power supply. If fault persists after that time, circuit breaker should trip. Yes, the short time capacity depends on electromagnetic force and temperature rise of contacts. So the time which we give to the circuit breaker, wait for some time, that depends on electromagnetic force and temperature rise of contacts. Now, normal current rating. Normal current rating is nothing but it is the RMS value of current. It can carry continuously at rated frequency. That means it is the value of nothing but normal value. circuit breaker can allow this current continuously. Circuit breaker can allow this current continuously successfully. Okay, so that current we call it as normal current rating. Now we go for it. So in this problem we can get by seeing this problem we can get a better clarity. So here in this problem they asked a circuit breaker is rated as 1500 amperes. It rated current is 1500 amperes. So please remember this 1500 amperes is a RMS value. Am I right? This 1500 amperes is the RMS value. Okay, please keep it in mind. It is a RMS value, and that rated current value is equal to 1500 amperes. Now, this 1000 MVA, circuit breaker rated 1000 MVA is the breaking capacity. Now, this 33 kV. This 33 kV is the voltage, operating voltage, system voltage. That is 33 kV is the system voltage. Now, this one is the 3 second. 3 second is the short circuit time. That means it can have up to this time. Circuit breaker can allow the fault current up to this time. That means it has the capability. To allow fault current up to this time. 3 second is the short time rating. So here it's in a 3-phase oil circuit breaker. Okay, find rated normal current. Here it is the rated normal current. Yes, that value is 1500 amperes. Already they given. Now we need to know breaking capacity. So here they already given. So 1000 MVA is the breaking capacity. What is the definition of breaking capacity? Breaking capacity is nothing but maximum level. In this way also we can define it. The maximum level of fault current at which circuit breaker can successfully break the circuit or system. That level of current we call it as breaking capacity. So breaking current or breaking capacity. Breaking current in the sense I, breaking capacity in the sense V into I. Okay. So 1000 MVA. Now, rated symmetrical breaking current. We need RMS value. That means symmetrical current. In previous diagram, we can see it. Symmetrical current. That symmetrical current value is X. So we already know that. Total MVA power, breaking power. That means breaking capacity 10,000 MVA. And voltage. Okay, voltage value is 33 kV. So by doing P by V, it is a 3-phase. That's why we place √3. So P divided by √3 into V, then we can get RMS value of symmetrical current. That one is 17496. It is the RMS value. Okay. Now, so because here 33 kV is the RMS value. Here that 33 kV is the RMS value. That's why here current also we can get RMS in terms of RMS. Now, rated making current. Already I told you making current value is equal to 2.55 times of symmetrical current. Here the symmetrical current, breaking current is 17496. That's why we can get this value. Here 2.55 is indicates √2. That √2 means RMS value is converted to peak value. That's why we use root 2 value 1.88. That means 2.55 value is equal to root 2 into 1.8. Root 2 mean is we need to convert peak value 1.8 means we have to taking doubling effect. We have to taking doubling fault effect. So finally that value is peak value. We can get peak value. That value is 44,614 amperes. That one is the peak value. Now short time rating. Already I told you. So this 3 second is indicates the short time rating. That means up to this time circuit breaker can allow fault current safely. So circuit breaker can allow 3 seconds. This much of current successfully. Now service voltage. A system voltage is 33 kV and it is a RMS value. So in this way we can explain rating of circuit breakers. So we have three main ratings. Three main ratings for circuit breakers. Those are breaking capacity, making capacity, and normal current rating. Okay, students. Here one more topic is there in first unit. So these are the remaining problems. I will send a PPT to you. Please see it and you will definitely understand. So here the total covered topics in first unit. So we covered, that means we discussed miniature circuit breaker, and also we discussed arc phenomena, and also we discussed definitions of restriking voltage, recovery voltage, and restriking phenomena, and also we derived the expressions for RRV, average, and maximum RRV. And also we discussed current chopping and what is current chopping, why current chopping is happening in some circuit breakers, and how we are going to eliminate current chopping. Already we discussed resistance switching and types of circuit breakers and air blast. That means in types of circuit breaker already we had seen oil circuit breakers and air blast type, SF6 circuit breakers, and vacuum circuit breakers. And now in this class we saw the circuit breaker ratings and specifications. Now one more topic is there, a concept of auto reclosing. If we need to discuss concept of auto reclosing, we have to know some terminology. We have to know some terminology related to relays. We have to know some terminology related to relays. So that's why after completing relays, we will discuss concept of auto reclosing. Okay, then only we can understand betterly. Okay, so we can understand thoroughly. That means we can get better understand after studying the relays. After studying the relays, only we can understand the topic concept of auto reclosing. Okay, so I will discuss this topic concept of reclosing after completing second chapter. After completing the second chapter, I will discuss this one. Okay. Now, okay. Next class onwards, I will start relays. That one is chapter 2. Okay. Now, today I will stop the class and we will continue tomorrow. If you have any doubt regarding today's class or previous class, please ask me. Otherwise, I will stop class. Ramnaran sir.
సార్ చెప్పండి. సార్ చెప్పండి సార్.
క్లోజ్ చేస్తున్నా సార్ ఇంకా.
సరే సార్.